we'll be talking about black tax. And black tax is the money and the support you send back to your family and your loved ones or your friends while you are abroad. So what I wanted to discuss with you is to know if it is really mandatory that you have to send that black tax even when you don't have a job. The reason why I'm having this conversation is because I went to a city center, I think few days ago, and I got in touch with someone who we got chatting. We were talking. You could see how frustrated and how drunk the person was. He's from an African country, and he was complaining that he's actually living in debt right now because he has used up his overdraft, he has used up his credit card, he's unable to pay, he's out of job, like he's even literally living from one friend to the other at the moment because he doesn't even have an accommodation for himself. So I was like, what have you been doing, and why would you allow yourself to get to that level without even thinking of how to make sure that at least you have a roof top of your head? And he went ahead like, oh, isn't all this money? He was really angry, and you can see that he has taken a lot of alcohol at the same time. He was really upset, and he was like, is it not black tax? All the money we send back home, and yet family people are putting so much pressure on me, blah blah blah. Could like really feel his pain because you can see that he's really frustrated. Like we all know that each time when we travel, if one person or two persons manage to get there, the burden of the family, especially when you're from an average family or a family that a lot of people are not really doing well, the burden is already on the person that is abroad. And it looks like if you're not giving that black tax, you're a bad person. So I got and I was talking with him. He was now explaining how his siblings, his relatives, everybody were calling him school fees, school that, like a lot of things. And even as he's going through the stress, nobody has even called to like, how are you? Each time they call, even in the stress he's going through and the hardship he's going through, they only call to make demands. They don't even like call to like, oh, how are you? How are you doing? How is this? How is that? They never call to do that. So I was like, I could really understand with him because you can see the frustration. And if you're not here to see what he is going through, you will never believe that he is that frustrated. But because you're overseas, you will think that everybody in the UK is doing well. So the reason why I'm holding this conversation is just to enlighten a lot of people who are coming to the UK, and especially for those who are here too. So the black tax, yes, we know that it is important to help people back home. It is very important that if you manage to get to abroad, which seems like once you get to the UK, everything is bright, beautiful. But at the same time, do we really have to get to that point that man I saw at the city center is in right now? Because I'm not saying he's gonna die, but the way I saw him, even if anything happens to him, I don't think the family members will really know the stress the guy is going through, because he went ahead and said that he even had to borrow and be sending back home. Is either this one is see, is either this one, like he was just lamenting. I just advise him to take things easy, that I believe that everything will be fine, even if I know that it will take him time to come out from that debt, bearing in mind that he has spoiled his credit record. He has spoiled it, because once you go over your overdraft and also you start spending from your credit card and you're able to pay, you are not credit worthy anymore. The bank will not even trust you to even give you any money because they have tried it and you have not paid. So that in as much as we know how important it is to help people back home, we should also at the same time think of ourselves. I know we can be under that pressure of we want to help this, we want to help that, we want to, yes, it's everywhere, and it is very common, especially with people from black community, African community, or black community, or Asian community. We have this thing called, I don't know what the Asians call it, whether it is called black tax or Asian tax, I don't know. But with black tax, if you're in the UK, I think it's worth having a conversation with the people you pay your black tax to. It's good to like go into a conversation to ask, because I know that most of the time we go through pressure. Even when you're not working, you're also always thinking of how you will send that black tax, which I know that it is one thing that comes to our mind. In as much as we are doing that, I think it is necessary to have a conversation with those that you send your black tax to, because you will keep sending the black tax, you will keep sending, and you have your family, you have yourself. Like that young man I saw at the city center, already getting useless, to be honest. Already, I'm not maybe he's watching this video, but he said he was going to subscribe to my channel. I don't know if you're watching the video. I'm not trying to talk you down, but from the conversation we had, it's just a way to encourage other people in the UK, other people abroad, and also to encourage people overseas to take things easy with their relatives abroad. So in as much as you're trying to help your loved ones, in as much as you're trying to help family members, our loved ones, sometimes it's really good that you have to take out time to look after your own self, especially when you have a family. Remember that your legacy is your immediate family. I'm not saying do not stretch, but stretch and also remember that you have to look after yourself. As much as you're doing your best to send your black tax, at the same time, I think it's necessary to have a conversation with the people you send your black tax to, especially when they are not doing anything. I think at this point in time, it is good to like have a genuine conversation to find out what they can do. For instance, you can ask, what can you sell, or what business can you do, so that if you're sending, let's say 50,000 a month, you can add it up and give to that your relative to start a business. And once he or she starts that business, if you were sending 50,000 a month, you can be sending 10,000 just to support, so that they don't eat up the business money, instead of every month you're sending 50, 100, and yet they are still not doing anything. It is very important that you send that money back home, but at the same time, it is also good that you have a genuine conversation with whoever you're sending it to find out what they can do and start it up for them. Because after having this conversation with this man, not only him, it's a lot of people in the African, Asian communities are actually going through this stress. And at the end of the day, you are in the UK or you're in the EU, you're dying, and your family, they don't even know what you're going through in cause of raising that money to send to them. And I think at any point you cannot meet up, it is important that you speak out. The man I spoke to at the city center couldn't speak out, and I think that's why his situation went that bad. And right now, I think the way he's living, he's not living like every normal person, because when I saw him, he was in a mess, really unkempt. He looked like somebody who has had a lot of alcohol, I think he's taking it just to encourage himself. So I think at any point you know that you cannot meet up with your black tax, it is also good that you communicate with the people you send it to, because I think they're all human as well. They will understand. Instead of just keeping quiet and you're spoiling your credit record, you're getting drunk, you're living a life that you didn't want to live, all in the name of you want to raise black tax to send back home. I'm just talking about this because I know a lot of people are planning to come to the UK, and to be honest, life in UK, it's not easy. Life in UK is not easy. Not only UK, life generally when you are in abroad is not easy. Like I used to say that you have to do everything for yourself. I was telling somebody the other day that if I was in Nigeria, I think I should have 2 maids. One will stay, one will be going and coming. But imagine that I'm here, no maid, with 3 young children, and I have to work. I have to be a wife, I have to be a mother, I have to be a career woman, I have to like everything on me. So that's enough stress to let you. And this is not just only me, a lot of people, men, women, are going through this situation. So life in the UK is not really easy. It's not that once one of your family members gets here, everything is okay. Lots of people are living in debt, just like this young man. This man I saw, he's not even up to 40, but already he is like, he doesn't look like somebody that has planned anymore for his life. He's just so annoyed with his family, with I was like, you should have spoken to somebody in your family. You should have spoken to somebody to say, this is what I'm going through, He said nobody will understand him because they think everything is okay. So for you, maybe you're trying to impress, or genuinely you're going really extra and you're spoiling your record. And I would advise that when you get to that level that you know that things are not the same way it used to be, it is very important that you communicate with the people you do. They won't kill you, we are all human. It is very important that you communicate with the people you send your black tax to. For those overseas receiving this black tax, I will advise that once in a while it is good to just call your family, your loved ones who are sending you this black tax, just to know how they are. Because like I said, everything in UK is you pay for. It's not like in Nigeria. I miss even working in Nigeria, to be honest, because some days I go to work and I run into monies. But yeah, from this beginning of the year to the end of the year, you know what you're earning. No plus, no minus, except maybe you're able to get some bonuses. So it is really different from the one that you will go and maybe you may run into money or one thing. It's completely different. So sometimes it is good to call your loved ones to like find out, how are you doing, how are you health wise, how are you work wise. It's not every time you just go, I need this, I need that, I need these people are working, like they are working tirelessly. And like in the UK, like I said, you don't get any money you don't work for. You don't get paid. Even the overtime you work, the government still tax the overtime you work. So everything in the UK and even in abroad, you pay for them. You pay for them. So when these people manage to even give you the little one that they are giving you, it is very important that you appreciate them. And once in a while, call them to find out how they are doing. I don't even know the family of this guy I spoke to. If not, I would have called one of them to like, come, call your brother, because a lot is going on with him right now. Call him to find out how he is, because he was so angry. Nobody even calls, nobody even cares, blah blah blah. He was really upset. So funny. Everything people in the UK or people in US, Germany, let's say abroad generally, everything they have to work for it. So when they manage to bring out that one that they have worked for to give you, it is good that once in a while call to check up on them. Not always calling to make demands, because you're putting them under pressure. If anything happens to that man, his family will cry, but they will not know that they contributed to where he is at the moment. So guys, I know you're planning to make your way to the UK. As you're planning to make your way to the UK, beware of black tax. It is very important that we send black tax to our loved ones and family members and friends. So put that in your mind, that as you're coming, you will join the society of people or the community of people sending black tax. But in as much as you will join the community of people sending black tax, please do not put yourself into debt, because every debt you put yourself, especially when it comes to do with the bank, with your credit card, with your overdraft, it will further make things harder for you in the UK, especially when you want to go and buy a house. The bank cannot even trust you with their money to buy a house, because they will know that you will not pay. It will spoil your credit record. So in as much as you're trying to help people, which is very good, which is our obligation, we need to help as children of God and as people that came out of a family. You cannot come out from a family and see your family suffer and choose not to help. But at the same time, I have seen a lot of people that they have changed their numbers because of family pressure. They've changed their numbers. They say whenever they want to call family, they just use SIM card call. After they finish, they break the SIM card. That's because of what? The pressure families from overseas has put them into. So they now use different contacts to call, and you cannot call back. They are not even doing social media that you say, okay, you want to send them a message. If the ladies I spoke to recently, she said she does social media with a different name. She doesn't even post her picture, just to like see what is going on because of family pressure. Only when she wants to call her family, she goes to call, and after she calls, she breaks the SIM. So please guys, try your best. Find out how your siblings, find out how your loved ones, especially the ones that are remitting black tax to you, even the ones that are not doing it, find out how they are. Because they're live in abroad. The way things are getting high in Nigeria and other countries, especially Nigeria, is the same way things have tripled in the UK. So everybody is literally struggling. And for anybody in the UK to struggle and still outside his or her struggle, still looks out for black tax to send to you, you should be grateful and also appreciate that person. And once in a while, just call to know how they are doing, because they're going through stress. And this country is way different from where we came from. It is different. Yeah, 24 hours you're on your feet working. Because if you don't work, no pay. And if you don't work, you don't pay your rent. And as your money is coming by the end of the month, it's finishing. Once the salary gets in, because there are so many direct debits, before you know, maybe you are left with £50 or £100, and out of that £100, you will still stretch and pay your black tax. So guys, when paying your black tax, at any point you know that you cannot manage, let the people you pay to know, because it will not be nice that you end up like the guy I met in city center a few days ago, because you're not speaking out to let them know exactly what is going on with you. And at the same time, find out what you can do to establish the people you send the black tax to. So at that point, they can have something to do and not always rely on you because you have sent them money to start something. And for those that are receiving this black tax, like I said earlier on, don't forget to at least once in a while call to find out what is happening to your friends. Call to find out what is happening to your brothers. Call to find out what is happening to your sisters, just like a normal conversation. How are you? Not anytime they see they call, hey, they are shaking because they know that the next thing, I need money for this, I need money for that. It's not like life is not as easy as you see it. The same struggles that people are going through in Africa, it's the same struggles people are going. It's just that the environment is different. The environment is just different, but people are actually going through a lot here. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you find it helpful and you're yet to subscribe to join our beautiful family, please do not forget to hit on that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you're going to be the very first person to see that video. Until I see you in my next video, guys, do take care and have a lovely day. Bye bye for now.